The Star Wars roadmap seems to have been revealed. Kathleen Kennedy's final squeal now being released all over the internet. People are making bets as to whether it's real or not. Today we'll tell you what we believe when it comes to Luke's son, Mara Jade, and a Star Wars still dedicated totally to Rey. Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we continue to give you what you need to know. Keeping you ahead of the culture curve is what we do every single day, and we never tire, not for a single second. Folks, click the like button. Let's dive in. A panel of excellent Star Wars gurus, all ready to tell you what Kathleen Kennedy's final curtain call just might be. In a galaxy far, far away, folks, we have some things to say about what is the roadmap apparently going forward for the next decade of Star Wars. Now, we need to say that we are in rumor and speculation territory. We broke this first on the Patreon. If you're not yet a member of the Patreon, consider it. It's www.patreon.com/WDW Pro, and we have our resident Star Wars guru, Lauren, to help us through with all this. Folks, what we are hearing, and again, rumors, get your salt, but we're hearing that there are two paths going forward for Star Wars for the next while. One of those paths is going to be the Ahsoka Thrawn stories, and that's heavily involved with Dave Filoni. And we already knew about that. We know about that. But the other side of this equation now is apparently the Rey movie fell through, and so what they're going to do is put Rey in the Starfighter film. And we had heard, when Amy Adams was cast, we heard allegations alleging that she was going to be Mara Jade. Lauren, is it Mara Jade or Mara Jade? Which way do I say it?
I have heard both pronunciations. I have always pronounced it Mara.
All right, Mara Jade.
I've always pronounced it Mara.
Well, then you're wrong.
Let's call the whole thing off.
Mara
You
Jade.
say Mara, I say Mara.
I'll just go to both. You can't pin me down. So she in the extended universe is supposed to be Luke's wife. And so now in this Starfighter film we're hearing, and some of this stuff is confirmed, so we're really not out on a ledge here. We talked about it in a video, but she's apparently going to be bringing a Force-sensitive kid that we now believe is Luke Skywalker's secret son to Rey so that Rey can train Luke's son. Now, what we didn't say yet is that, according to our source, this has been devised by a huge group of focus groups and consultation firms, and they have brought in a lot of people to figure out how do they get the sequel trilogy and the original trilogy folks to get along and be happy. And what they came up with was Mara Jade delivers Luke's son to Rey. Rey trains Luke's son. We have a trilogy of movies that are about Rey and about this kid. And that's where we're going to go with this whole thing. And the idea is, now, and again, they can change this. So I got to be careful because, next year they might decide, this isn't working. We're going to change that boy to not be Luke's son or whatever. Or they'll retcon it in the second movie. You know how they do. Listen, Rey was supposed to be somebody that we really were going to find out info. Remember that lightsaber was a big MacGuffin we were going to find out later on. A story for another day, said Maz. So I don't want to go too far on this, except to say, apparently, Lauren, what they're thinking is that they can run this dual track now. And the dual track, what they can do is, if Ahsoka and Thrawn and Mando, if that's popular, they'll focus on that more. And if the adventures of Rey and Luke's son becomes more popular, they'll go with that more. And what's her name? Charmin Obaid-Chinoy, who was supposed to be the director of the Rey movie. Apparently, they're still going to do the Rey movie, but it's going to be the second movie after Starfighter, and they're going to make a trilogy out of it. And all of this is the Kathleen Kennedy way of, Lauren, please help me, because some people are saying to me, Pro, you're being too harsh. They actually listened. They might not be doing what you want, but Luke's son, these people are very anti-Luke. And I just think, she's a Palpatine. She's going to train Luke's son, a Palpatine. Lauren, help me. Help me with the lore. What is all this mess?
Well, it's a mess. If your source is correct and they are essentially trying to test two tracks, I'm not against A and B testing. That's maybe a better idea than anything they've tried so far. But I've got some basic questions about some of this. I'm not sure I buy into all of this, because to me, there's an age problem. How old is the kid that's in Starfighter?
He looks to be about 13.
Okay, so by the time of The Force Awakens, there's 30 years between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens in the timeline. If you figure that Luke is, let's see, depending on how you calculate it, it's either 19 or 21 years between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. There's 3 years to Empire Strikes Back. That puts in about 24. A year to Return of the Jedi. That's 25. So I guess he'd be 55 at the time of The Force Awakens. If this is taking place after the sequel trilogy, then I guess maybe it's not that far off. It just means that he'd be an older dad. I'm trying to line up the ages with Luke at the time that he'd be fathering a child and Amy Adams at the age that she will appear in this movie, and trying to decide if that makes sense.
I think she's going to appear at about 50-ish. I don't want to, I don't talk about a woman's age, but I think that's the idea. Let me go, Lauren, and we'll keep talking about this. I'd love to get Derek and the others in on this as well. Josh of Den of Nerds, we had heard that Amy Adams is coming in to play Mara Jade. We didn't really talk about it a lot because we don't want to get that wrong, but that was a pretty strong rumor we were getting. But Josh says this. He says, okay, I'm feeling a little bit better, but honestly, I still can't believe this is happening. It's true that I've been hearing Rey is the centerpiece of the future for Star Wars content for years. I also know not everyone thinks that's a good idea. It is shocking to me that the entire plot of Starfighter is basically a primer to get the new Force-sensitive character to Rey. Like, that's too much, man. Ultimately, the reason I hate this is because it's not organic. Like, there's just zero chance Sean Levy was sitting around thinking of a movie that led to Rey. Lauren, I'm going to give you... listen, Kathy is a creature of habit. Lauren, this is basically The Force Awakens again. This, instead of trying to get Rey to Luke, this is Mara Jade trying to get Luke's son to Rey. And a lot of these pieces we already know. So, Lauren, we know that Amy Adams is at least playing a female Jedi. And we at least know that the kid is Mara Jade. Well, I can't say Mara Jade. We at least know that the female Jedi has a son that's Force sensitive, and she's trying to get the kid to Rey. So we're not very far away. Like, all you got to say is it's Mara Jade, and boom, all the pieces fall into place.
There's too many problems with this to even list. The first question for me is, why can't she take her son herself? This is all...
Oh, Lord. Don't do that to me. Lord, you know the reason. Rey!
Why can't you
Rey! Rey's the greatest thing ever. You know that, Lauren.
But Rey's not involved in bringing the kid to her. It's Ryan Gosling's character that's got to get him there. Why?
Oh, they're going to... Listen, he is basically... I can't think of the name right now. What's the guy who flies the ship in the sequel trilogy? What's his name again?
Poe Dameron.
Poe Dameron. Yeah, he's going to be Poe Dameron.
Look, I got to tell you what I think.
Tell us what you think. Rip it to shreds, Lauren.
I've been listening to this. I know that you say that we've heard this from sources that we trust. I've heard other people say the same. They're saying this is what's happening. To me, this feels like a misinformation campaign. I feel like this is people putting stuff out there so that we'll run with it and complain about it. So when it's not that, then they'll say, "See, why are you listening to these doofuses?"
That's not a bad thought on that, Lauren. I'm starting to feel a little paranoid over here. My old pro's getting a little paranoid on the whole thing.
There's a part of me that, despite all evidence to the contrary, there's only so stupid that I believe these people can be. If this is how they think they're going to get us to swallow all of this crap, it will never work. It's like it's chocolate and mustard, two great tastes that taste great together. No, they don't. This doesn't work.
Lord, I stand in awe. I'm done.
On the other hand, I have had a chocolate and jalapeno flourless chocolate cake that was pretty good.
I'm just done. I can't. This man's too good. Okay. Derek or Marvin. Go ahead, Marvin. Go ahead.
I don't think there's any way this is true for one simple reason. It would not be Luke's son. It would be Luke's daughter. We all know that.
Marvin. Marvin.
His son isn't going to identify as a daughter.
Oh, see, Lou knows where I'm going with this.
There's no way that Luke Skywalker, the guy whose face was on the wall, literally on the wall at this Lucasfilm with a red X through his head, that they're going to bring his son and make his son the new centerpiece of Star Wars. It's not going to happen.
But he was a deadbeat dad. He never raised him and marriage. Okay. Step back from all that then, okay? Let's deal with what we are 99% sure. Derek, we're 99% sure, like we're really confident that Amy Adams is going to play a female Jedi who brings a Force-sensitive kid to Rey. And the whole movie is going to be about trying to get this Force-sensitive kid to Rey, and that there's going to be a bunch of Rey movies that they have planned after this, if only it will do well. Derek, what do you think about that? Because we basically know that the dual track system is absolutely happening. They've got these movies planned. They got the Mando, Ahsoka, Thrawn stuff happening. Derek, what's going to work? Is anything going to work, or is this going to blow up in their faces yet again?
It's going to blow up in their faces again because the real problem has always been Rey. Rey is a terrible character. She's not interesting. There's nothing of value there. So why are you keep doubling and tripling down on Rey? It makes absolutely no sense. I'm fine with them trying to, use Amy Adams as Mara Jade, and then she's going to try to, hire Ryan Gosling to get the kid to a Jedi who can train her. But it shouldn't be Rey. It should be some other Jedi, because Rey is a terrible character. And every time they go back to Rey, I just cringe. This is not an interesting character by any stretch of the imagination. She has failed in 3 movies. We watched it. Okay. The sequel trilogy is the reason why the Star Wars franchise is sitting at the bottom of the ocean as we speak. So if you want to fix this, the words retcon should be in your vocabulary. You need to get rid of the sequel trilogy and quit trying to tie things to the sequel trilogy. And then maybe, just maybe, you have a shot. And then think about recanonizing the EU and doing Heir to the Empire, recast Han, Luke, and Leia, and to go forward from that standpoint. Okay. That's how you fix Star Wars. Trying to tie Mara Jade into Rey to legitimize Rey, you're not going to get it done. Okay. That's not going to work, because nobody likes the character of Rey. No problem with Daisy Ridley as an actress. Sure, she's a fine person, but the character of Rey has never worked. Nobody likes this character, and nobody's going to show up for a movie and watch this.
So
character.
If I can sum up your opinion, Derek, Rey is not a drop of golden sun.
There's 2 other things that I think are important to point out here. And one is that besides everything that we've already said, I don't think that they would ever allow themselves to use Mara Jade. I don't think that their pride will allow them to do that. I think that if they have to go back to an EU author, even though it's one that they have used in the EU canon.
Who made Mara Jade originally, Lauren?
It's Timothy Zahn.
No, I think he actually made Mara Jade.
Oh, God. Here we go again. Lauren, but Lauren, real quick. Lauren, did you... Oh my gosh, Lauren is using his producer abilities. I will bring him back. You have to sit next to him now.
No, but there's one other thing, and that is that this plot that you're talking about, the plot about bringing this wondrous chosen child to the Jedi Master to teach them everything.
Right, we've done that twice before.
That's Grogu in The Mandalorian. Grogu was supposed to go with Luke. That was the thing that we could have gotten behind.
Yeah, 3 times before.
They chose not to do it. They chose to separate them, which also destroyed any momentum that the Mandalorian had, any interest that they would have had. It's why the Mandalorian and Grogu is unfortunately going to flop, is because we don't care anymore. They've shown these characters have no growth. They've got nowhere to go. There's nothing to do with them anymore. It's you just can't do it.
But now, wait a minute. Lauren, do you doubt?
How's the weather on Tatooine?
Dry.
Chilly today, hot tomorrow.
That's right.
Anyway.
Lauren, let me ask you something, though. Do you have any doubt that Rey will be the character that we're trying to get to in Starfighter? Given that they brought her out on stage, and given that they made this big thing about it, and they can't get the script done for a Rey movie, and we know they don't have the Rey movie anywhere. And do you think that...
I actually do still have some doubts about that too, but here's why. They explicitly said that yes, Starfighter was going to take place in the sequel trilogy continuity, that it was going to take place after the sequel trilogy, but they also said explicitly that it does not tie to the Skywalkers. If they reverse course on that, that's something else that could piss off the fan base. So if they're really going to pull the pin on this grenade, good Lord.
Lauren, how do you piss off that which is already pissed on? I don't know.
I'm just telling you, if this is their calculation, I'm telling you right now, They have made an enormous mistake.
Hey guys, I'm getting a note from Sonny Hostin's grammar attorney. Apparently, I should have said pissed upon. I apologize. Marvin, Ron, Lou.
While you're on the subject of calculation, let us consider the investment they have in Rey at this point. Not just the movies, but everything since, and all of the hold fees she's been getting to be available for this movie that's never happening. When we're talking about how much these things cost, this thing walks in the door at not zero, but at negative $200 million or someplace like that. So,
all right, to the panelists who have not yet had a swing at this, get in here and tell us your thoughts.
Okay, this is the big surprise reveal that they're waiting for. It's not going to be Rey, but this child is going to be delivered to a Jedi that we didn't even know was a Jedi. Rose Tico is coming back.
Hey! Well, that'll be just
whole different revelation. It's not. She's not a Skywalker. We know that.
No. It is going. We were going to bring the baby to Osha Anasea from the Acolyte. She's still alive. She's immortal now because she's the best at Sevar with the Force. And Amanda's same face will be there making her same face.
This is why when Lauren says they can't be that dumb, I think, Lauren, we watched The Acolyte together. We watched it together. You know they can be that dumb.
Yeah. Maybe the baby's name will be Josh Damara Jade.
I think Amy Adams would actually be very good casting for Mara Jade. I just don't trust this Lucasfilm with
why. Okay. Let's talk about that then for a minute, Lauren. Because I'm just Lauren. This is your kind of topic. I just want to go to you for one more time. Amy Adams. If there was ever going to be, I mean, given the timeline, given how old Luke was, if you were ever going to cast a redhead female to be Mara Jade, like, it can't be more on the nose than this one.
Okay, sure. So what?
I'm just asking. I'm just saying it could be.
Wait, so she's going to have been Lois Lane and now a Star Wars character?
Oh yeah.
That's kind of an interesting cross-platform casting number, isn't it?
And a Disney princess.
Yeah, there you go.
I feel enchanted already.
And a guest on The Office.
Because the problem with doing Mara Jade now is, who even knows if she'll be a Jedi? It's you're not going to get the Emperor's Hand storyline. The story that you want to tell with Mara Jade is her meeting Luke for the first time, her having to overcome the programming of Palpatine and finding the light side.
Her time in Talon Cards organization. It's like all of the interesting parts that you could do with Mara Jade are the stuff that they can't show. It's like this is, again, just a... I almost cursed.
Okay,
almost
Lord,
cursed.
Hold on.
Bring the EU back, retcon, and start over. Admit your mistakes, cut your losses, and move forward. You will be fine, Star Wars. But they won't do that because then Kathleen has to admit she was wrong.
Speaking of that, Derek, I bet you when they get the kid to Rey, the next saga will be Rey defeating the Yuuzhan Vong.
Okay.
They'll never touch that.
Lauren, help me out with one more thing.
Visually striking enough.
Okay, Lauren, let's say it's not Mara Jade. Let's say that Amy Adams has not been, she's just a female Jedi. Lauren, that's another problem. I thought Rey was the last in all of them and everything like that. And I thought that Order 66 took out all these Jedi. There's more Jedi running around this galaxy than there were before Anakin took them all out, if that's the case.
Well, okay, but I mean, that's always going to be a problem with Star Wars. It's like if you want to tell additional stories, you have to have additional Jedi. There's just no way around that. I think the bigger problem is actually, and I wonder if this is contractual, the one thing that Disney has been slavishly adherent to when it comes to Lucas's canon is the idea that the Sith were absolutely obliterated with the death of Palpatine and Vader. And I would argue that derailed the sequel trilogy, because what they decided to copy was the Empire, not the Sith. It should actually be ridiculously easy for the Sith to reconstitute themselves, because there's all kinds of temples out in the unknown regions. There's all kinds of Sith lore that somebody could stumble upon and be led astray by. But they want to say that George's word was final there and that the Sith were utterly destroyed for all time, because that's the linchpin to Anakin being the chosen one. And if that's the case, then you can't really have a sequel trilogy. And I think that is the one Lucas edict that is actually a mistake if you wanted to continue forward with the story.
But, if Luke's son showed up, then he would be like Anakin's grandson and, still doing some stuff and making that prophecy fulfilled. And
I think
you want to place a bet? I'll put a bet on this.
You're going to have to watch Highlander like 17 times if you lose this thing.
Is that
Choose-
all right?
choose
I'll tell you what,
wisely, young Padawan.
that'll be the bet. I'll bet you $100 against a viewing of Highlander 2 that this is not Luke's son.
You're not getting, no. We're talking Highlander 2, 3, 4, and 5, my friend. Look at that.
All right,
Look,
I'm that confident.
Oh, he went for it. All right, we got it. And it is time to put a bow on it for this one, folks. Is a gift to everybody who wants to know exactly what's going on in the entertainment industry. And we are so joyful that you were there to receive it. We hope that you had a great time. An attitude of gratitude on this channel every single time you decide to spend time with us. As we get ready to say goodbye, we only ask a few simple things. Click that like button, share, subscribe, click it, and stick it to those algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, so waste not yours. And folks, as you get ready to head out that door, do you have a place on social media that you love to share this sort of thing? Hey, you can make this YouTube video sing by putting it out there for your friends, your family, and for those weirdos who just won't leave you alone. Folks, until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
Jump into the water.
Why listen to music made by people and companies who really don't like you? Check out Vacation Radio today and prepare for all new content made by the people behind the WDW Pro Channel. It's the place you need for all the music. That should be fun.
Want it all, so I give them cannonball. Yeah.
Hundreds of songs, every genre you can imagine. Listen live on YouTube and enjoy a set list that's always sunny. It's Vacation Radio.
Arizona. Pineapple pizza, Hawaiian ice freeze, yeah. Can't wait to be up. 3 days of you and me.
What are you waiting for? Every WDW Pro video has a link to Vacation Radio in the video description. Try it out and subscribe today.